Hey everybody, and welcome to Zenfolio Live. I'm Robert with Zenfolio Customer Support, and I just want to say thank you for joining us here on the live stream. I want to say thank you to Kayla for covering for me last week so I could go on a much-needed vacation. And as you guys can see in the background here, I just wanted to share one of my vacation photos with you. I spent the week out on the Outer Banks up in North Carolina. So this was the view outside of my hotel room, and I am really missing it this week. It was nice to be able to wake up every morning and watch the sunrise, and then I could flip and go to the other side of my hotel room and watch the sunset every night. So I do miss that, but it's good to be back to work, back here hanging out with you guys, and back on the live stream. So let me get this out of the way really quick. Alright, so if this is your first time watching, just say hi in the chat. Let us know where you're from. As always, it's good to have our regular people coming back and hanging out with us. Today, we are going to be talking about selling training sessions and workshops and things like that. So if you're a landscape photographer, portrait photographer, pretty much any kind of photographer, you might consider doing selling workshops and training sessions and things like that. And you can definitely do that on Zenfolio using our self-fulfilled products, and then just setting up a simple custom page to kind of advertise those workshops and things like that. So what we're going to build is we're going to build something that looks a little bit like this. Well, actually something that looks just like this. This is just a simple custom page right here. As you can see, there's not a lot to it. You can definitely do a lot more. I just wanted to do something really quick and simple that anybody could do. And it's just got some text and then some photos down here. And basically what this is set up to do is once a client or somebody interested in your workshop comes to visit, they click on the workshop they're interested in, and it takes them to a page where they can see more details about the workshop right here over in this image on the left. And then on the right, they can purchase whatever date they want. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through setting this up. I'm going to show you how I set this up and how you guys can do it. It's nice, easy, and it's pretty effective. So let me just get back to my dashboard here really quick. And so the first thing that we need to do is we need to build a price list or build a price list and some self-fulfilled products. So if you remember, the other workshop that I was advertising here was for Photoshop techniques right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go up to selling in my Zenfolio account, scroll down here to self-fulfilled products, and then I've already got these ocean sunrise workshops put in here. What I'm going to do is just create one Photoshop workshop really quick. So I'm just going to click add product, give it a quick title. And let's say this workshop for this date, let's say we're going to do September 23rd for this workshop, 2017. So now that we've got that created, I'm just going to give it a quick description so I can save this here. Come down here. We don't really want to allow them to leave a note, US dollars. I'm not going to put it, I'm not going to put a base cost or anything like that. The category is fine as other products. You could do maybe a special offer if you want to do that. This doesn't really matter because we're going to turn the category view off anyway. Next, we're just going to scroll down here to the very bottom. And one important option, you can leave everything else pretty much set up by default. You don't have to require a resolution. You don't have to put in cropping because they're actually not ordering any photos. They're basically purchasing tickets to your workshop. So we don't need an aspect ratio for cropping. We don't need a minimum resolution here. You can leave this set to 1. We're just going to scroll down to the bottom, and what we're going to do is change this from saying this product ships in a small package, because we're not actually shipping anything. We're going to change this over to this product has no shipping. It's a service or digital product. So let me click save here, and it sounds like my mic is just a little too hot. Let me turn it down just a little bit here. All right, guys, so let me know if that mic is better now. If I need to turn it down a little bit more, definitely let me know and I'll turn it down some more. All right, so I've got that product saved. And now what I'm going to do is come down here. Now you can see there's that product right there, the Photoshop workshop. Instead of making another one, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate this. I'm just going to duplicate this a little bit. So what I'm going to do is come right here and click duplicate. This way I don't have to go through the entire process of setting everything up again. And all we're going to have to do is we're just going to have to change the date. So this one was for September 23rd. Let's go ahead and make this one for, let's say, September 24th. And then we don't have to change anything else. We don't have to go through all the process of that because we've just duplicated this. So we've got that changed. So now all I have to do is click save here. That's going to save that. And now right there is, and now that's right there. Oh, they're saying the mic is worse. Sorry, guys. Not sure what's going on. Let me see if I can fix this. Hold on a second. All right. Okay, guys. Let's see if that's any better. I do apologize for that. Since I was on vacation, some of my stuff got moved around, and I guess I didn't have it set back quite the way it was. Hopefully the sound is better now and it's not cracking. If it is, definitely please let me know, and I'll keep messing with the audio. Okay, but we've got those two Photoshop products right there created. Let's go ahead and just create one more because I want to make sure you guys see how easy this is. After you create the first one, all you've got to do is come back and duplicate it and change the date. So I'm going to duplicate it there, and we're going to change the date. And let's say this one is for October. I don't know what a weekend day is in October, so let's just say it's for October 15th, 2017. And all I'm doing is duplicating the product and saving it. All right, so I've got 3 of those created right there. October, September. Let me fix that October one because I want to make sure they all look the same, and I capitalized that there. So let me take a look here. October, make that a little bit better. Hit save. Okay, so now we've got that set up there. It sounds like I've got my mic straightened back out. Sorry about that, guys. But now we've got those 3 Photoshop workshop. That's hard to say. Photoshop workshops. Maybe I should have said Photoshop training session. Anyway, we've got those 3 self-fulfilled products there created with the date. Now what we're going to do is we're going to build a price list with just these on it. So I'm going to go up to selling. Click on price list right here. Then I'm going to go add blank price list over here on the right. And I'm going to call this price list Photoshop workshops. Hit enter, and then once this loads, we're going to add just those Photoshop training session self-fulfilled products that we created to this price list. The reason we're building this price list by itself is because what we're going to do is we're going to upload a gallery with just a single image, and we're going to apply this price list to that image. So now I'm going to go to add products. And then usually by default, when you click that Add Products button, you're going to be seeing something that says All Vendors up here. And what that means is you're seeing products from all of our integrated vendors. If you have a hard time locating those self-fulfilled products that you just created, what you can do is click right here, click on your studio name, and then you're only going to be seeing the products that you created as self-fulfilled products. So now I'm just going to click on Other Products. And then right here at the top, you can see here are those Photoshop workshops that I created. So I'm going to check all 3 of those. And you guys can't see it. Let me just get myself out of the way here. Going to click Add Selected Products right here. Alright, so now we're going to put a price on these really quick. So what I'm going to do is just put a price on them really quick. I'm just going to go set the selling price to be $500. If you put in a lot of dates and you don't want to take the time to do that, what you can do is usually by default, this use formula option will be checked right here. And what you could do is you could just come to pricing, and then you could just say, do not apply a % markup, just apply a fixed markup of $500, and then round up to the nearest right here. Apply that, and that's going to make all your selling price $500. So if you add a bunch of dates in there, you've got a lot of products, you want to make them all the same price, but you don't want to have to go through and do it individually. What you can do is use that fixed markup and do that there. So again, you just go up to the pricing formula, put in your fixed markup here, set the percentage over base cost to 0, and then obviously you'd want to round it up to 0 right there and hit apply. Okay, well now we've got this this price list set up. What we want to do really quick is go here to this, and since clients aren't ordering any images or anything like that, I'm just going to hit fit so that this option does not even pop up for them. And then what we're going to do down here at the bottom is we want to make sure that these come over to the quick shop section, and then we want to set them up in the order that we want them to appear. So what I'm going to do is uncheck this automatic select 10 products option here, and then we're just going to click the first one, hold shift, click the last one, click add, and then let's put these in an order that makes sense. Obviously we are going to want the closer dates up top like that right there. And then I know it's saying 0 right here, but it is going to show for $500 on the actual price list. That's showing the base cost right here, which you can see our base price is 0 because it's a self-fulfilled product and we didn't put in a base cost. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to hit save. So now I've got that price list saved. I need a gallery to apply this on so people can come to my website and purchase these tickets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to photos right here, and then I'm going to go here in the pricing section, and I'm just going to create a new gallery really quick. So I'm going to create a new gallery, and I'm going to call this Photoshop Training, so I don't have to say Photoshop Workshop over and over again. I've got that right there. Now what we need to do is we need to upload a photo to this. So I'm going to click upload, and then let me just show you the photo that I've got here created. So let me find this photo really quick and show this to you guys. Alright, so I've got a photo right here that looks like this. I don't know if I can get it all in there or not, but it's just something I made really quick in Photoshop. It's got the itinerary on it and some things to remember to bring and stuff like that. And I'm just going to drag that photo into the pane right here and upload that to my gallery there. So I'm just going to upload that into the gallery. Once it finished uploading, we are going to make sure we customize it the way we want and apply the price list to it. So what I'm going to do now is just click on this gallery here, and first I'm going to set the pricing on it. So I'm going to go to pricing, allow ordering from my price list, and we're going to set it to that Photoshop Workshops price list right there, and click save. So that's going to apply that price list to this gallery, to that image. And now the next thing we want to do is customize this gallery to appear the way that we want it. So making sure that you're clicked on the gallery over here on the left, what you're going to do is hover over preview and click customize. That's going to load into customize view. And while that's loading, guys, if you're watching, you have any questions, you're not quite sure what I'm doing, or you just want to ask why I'm doing something a certain way, or maybe you got a question that's completely off the subject, definitely feel free to start getting those questions in the chat. That way I can make sure to get them answered live for you guys today. Yeah, so just as Cheryl was saying, make sure you get those questions there in the chat so I can get those answered for you. Okay, so now let's set this gallery up. The one thing I don't want is I don't want people to have to go to this gallery and do a bunch of clicking to find out where they need to go to order photos. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to disable the thumbnails page for this gallery. And the way you do that is you come up to options. Let's take a step back. Actually, you want to make sure that you're on the thumbnails page first. So if you're not, you can click here, go to thumbnails, gallery thumbnails from the list, then go to options, uncheck use default, start on the thumbnails page, and we just want to uncheck enable thumbnails page and then click save at the bottom. Actually, it says apply at the bottom. So we're going to click apply right here at the bottom. So what we've done now is we've turned off the thumbnails page. And as you guys know, with the new shopping experience, any gallery that has a price list applied to it that does not have the thumbnails page is going to load into what's called the quick shop page right here. So let me just get this spread out here so you guys can see what it looks like. So this is the quick shop page. Now what I want to do from here is I want to customize this a little bit more. I want this to be the page that people land on, but I want it to be nice and simple. I don't want it to have a favorites. There's no need to have a favorites icon. I don't really want the visit shop there because I want people just to click this right here to purchase tickets to the workshop. So what I'm going to do is go up here to options. And the first thing we're going to do is go to shopping setup right here. And like I said, we want to make sure that this is set up to open up in Quick Shop, and I want to get rid of that visit shop page. So what I'm going to do is choose this Quick Shop only setting right here. Now the next thing I'm going to do is click on the Quick Shop tab and set up this tab to look the way that I want. So by default, I definitely want this sidebar set to show. However, I'm going to go ahead and hide that favorites button there. I'm going to leave the sharing button set up there. The back button we can leave on there. We want to make sure the download button is set to hide. And then the photo title, I'm going to hide that. The caption I'm going to hide. And that stuff. Now, if you put categories and keywords into that photo, you can definitely leave that set to show. That would be okay. That would be better for the SEO. If you actually took the time to caption or keyword that photo and add it to categories, I would definitely leave that to show so that it benefits from that. The next thing I'm going to do is I just kind of want the background to be black instead of white, so I'm going to change that to black right there. And then I'm going to leave the allow sharing on because I want people to share this. Hopefully I get more people to come to my workshops and things like that. And then now the last thing I'm going to do is just click the apply button down here at the bottom. So I'm going to go down here to the bottom and click apply. Now, this is a special gallery. I've just set this gallery up just for this specific purpose. So what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to click this Save as Default button right here because I have my client gallery set up differently and I don't want them to take on this setting. I just want this specific gallery to look like that. So I'm not going to click that button, but now I am going to click the Publish button right here. So now we've got that published. And now what I want to do is let's just go back to our dashboard here really quick. Go into Photos. And then what we're going to do is get the link to that specific gallery. So I'm going to click on the gallery right here. I'm going to come over here to Sharing and Client Access on the right under your toolbox. I think it's Toolbox is what it's called. Yeah, Toolbox. Couldn't remember if it was Toolbox or Toolbar. Sorry. Sharing and Client Access right here. If you want to give this a unique URL, you definitely can. You could definitely say Photoshop Workshop. Give it a unique URL. But the main thing we're after right now is just copying the actual URL to this gallery. So I've got that copied. What I'm going to do is click Save. Now, the other thing that I did was I created some little like thumbnail icons to use on the custom page, and I uploaded those into my web assets group right here. If you see right here, it says workshop thumbnails, and I just created these in Photoshop. They're not fantastic. I just quickly created them for something to use. I think they're like 400 by 400 or something like that, but I created those and I uploaded those because we are going to be using that on the custom page. Alright, so I've got the thumbnail icons uploaded, we've got the gallery created, and we've also got the link to the gallery. So now it's time to work on that custom page. So we're going to go up to Website, click on Custom Pages right here, and then we're going to scroll down and we're going to find that workshop page that I've already got created here, and we're going to click Edit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete this right here so you guys can see how I add this. If you just want to add some text here, you can put whatever information you want in the title. Remember, that is going to affect the URL, so make it something unique if you want. Make it something like, you know, photography training, photography workshops, something that's going to benefit your SEO. And then you also want to make sure that this option is checked so that search engines find this page, they index it, and it shows up in search results. Now, as far as what the page contains, that's completely up to you guys. I just threw in some quick text here. You probably want to add a lot more information, dropping in some strategic keywords in there, but not really trying to stuff it with keywords. But any text that you put here is going to help the SEO and the discoverability of this workshop page. So after you've got a basic page created here, I just typed in, click workshop below for details. And then what we're going to do is click right here I'm going to hit space one time, and then I'm just going to click add a photo right here. Now, what we would normally do is you'd locate that thumbnail, because I'm wanting to create that thumbnail for people to click on to actually go and purchase the tickets to this workshop. So I'm going to click on Workshop Thumbnails, and then we're doing the Photoshop one, so I'm going to select that one right there, hit select. And then what we can do is add a photo title and caption. Now, I want this photo, when I hover over it, I want it to say purchase tickets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that as the actual title. I'm going to say purchase tickets. So after I've done that, we're going to go down to set options. This is where we're going to decide what the click action is, and this is why we copied the link to that gallery, because now I'm going to say on the click action, we want it to go to a URL, and we're going to put in that URL right here. Now I'm going to set it to open. Actually, I'm not going to set it to open in a new window, because this is still a page that's inside of my Zenfolio account. So anybody that clicks on it and visits that is not going to lose my site navigation and things like that. So I'm just going to paste that link in there. On the hover action, what I want it to do is, this is where I want it to show the overlay title and caption, which will say purchase tickets. Now the next section down here is set layout, and we're just going to go with small, because it's that 400 by 400. The border, if you want to add a border, you can follow the theme and it'll place a border around it. You can have none. And I'm just going to leave the alignment with text and the horizontal and vertical padding both set to 10, and then click this little orange insert button down here on the bottom. So I'm just going to click insert. Now you can see that made it quite a bit bigger. So obviously I didn't have that first one set to be at the 400 by 400 thumbnail. So that must have been, let me just check really quick what I set that one at. That's set at the large thumbnail. Okay, so what we can do is hover over this, hit edit photo, change this from being small to that large thumbnail, which is going to resize it to that 200 by 200, and then click update down here on the bottom right. Now everything looks the way that I want. What we're going to do is go up here, save and preview, and just give this thing a quick test. So here it talks about the workshops. If you hover over it, it says purchase tickets on both of those. It says the click below for the details. Now if you click on this, it's going to take you to that gallery page that we set up, where it's got the details about the workshop, the time and all of that stuff. Tells you what to bring. And then over here on the right is where you can actually click to purchase the tickets for the different dates. Now, you will have to stay on top of the dates once those dates go by, or if that workshop gets full, you will have to go to that price list and remove that date. So let's say that September 23rd has come and gone. What you would need to do is go up to selling, go to the price list, go to that Photoshop workshop price list right there, and then just simply remove that date if it's filled up or if it's passed by and the workshop's actually over. So let's see if this thing will load. There we go. So we're just going to go right here, remove that September 23rd, and click save. And now if I go back to this page right here, Command R to refresh it, now that September 23rd date is going to be gone and nobody else can purchase those tickets. So now this is looking just like I want it to look. The next step would be to add it to your site menu. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back to my dashboard here, or actually anywhere in your Zenfolio account. You can just hover over My Zenfolio and click Customize Website. That's going to take you to Customize View, where you can add in new site menu items. So if you ever drag this thing over and you can't see Edit Site Menu, you just need to grab it and drag it back over like this right here. So let me just drag it over. We're just going to say Add New Menu Item. I'm going to say Workshops. Hit Enter. Link it to a built-in or custom page, and then come down here and select that custom page from the list. You guys can't see it. There's a lot of things right here, but down at the very bottom is that workshop custom page. And then I'm going to click update. this window is going to refresh, and then we can drag it into the position we want if we want it to be in a different position. I kind of want it to be probably above the contact page right there. So now let me do that. Let me hit refresh really quick. And then what we're going to do is just click publish, and we will give this thing a full test really quick. All right, so there is the workshops link right there, just like we added. We're going to click on this right here. It's going to take us to that custom page that we created. Scroll down here, read the information, and then basically just choose which workshop we're interested in. Click on it. It'll take us to that gallery where it'll give us the itinerary, and then we can just click here and add one of these tickets to our cart to purchase tickets for that workshop for that date. So that's how you do it, guys. There's other ways to do it. That's probably the simplest way that I've found, but there's definitely other ways you can do it. And you can also do things like sell portrait sessions this way. You can sell all kinds of stuff this way. If you want to sell sessions, maybe you just want to sell, I don't know, portrait sessions, anything like that, you can definitely sell that same exact method. It doesn't have to be workshops and training or anything like that. It'll definitely work for other things as well. All right, let me get back to my dashboard here, and we will start taking some questions. So let me hop here back to the dashboard, and looks like you guys don't have any questions in the chat yet, but I do have some email questions that I need to answer. But if you guys are watching, go ahead and get your questions in the chat so I can get those answered live for you today. It doesn't have to be about the topic that we just talked about. It can be about anything with your Zenfolio account, whether it's selling, organization, downloads, anything that you guys have questions about for Zenfolio. Definitely throw those questions out in that chat, and I will be sure to answer those live for you today. All right, let me take my first email question here. All right, so the first question I have says, visitor sign-in versus guestbook. What is the difference? So there's actually quite a bit of difference in the visitor sign-in and the guestbook. Visitor sign-in is something that you can turn on a gallery level, and you could actually turn it on for those workshop galleries that we just created. So maybe you want to see people who are looking at your workshops, but maybe they didn't purchase a ticket, but you'd like to collect the information for the people who are at least visiting that gallery and semi-interested, in case you want to run a special or something that later on down the road. You can turn on what's called visitor sign-in, and Zenfolio will actually collect that information. So if I click on this Ocean Sunrise workshop right here, and then we go down to visitor sign-in, and I say, yes, display a visitor sign-in here, and send me an email, and then you can set up the visitor messaging to say, please register to see the workshops I offer. I should probably capitalize the I. Put something like that in there. On the sign-in fields, you can make these required or optional. So you can go to the name and put the name to be required. Email address, you can make that required if you want. I'm 50-50 on this. It depends really, but for workshops or pricing and things like that, I definitely probably would make it required. I would probably never ever give out my phone number on a website, so I'm not even going to make that field an option, but it's there if you think your clients might, or if it's something that you need. Now you can also add an additional question there if you want. But now with visitor sign in here, once you save this, now if I open this gallery up in a incognito window, let me see if I can do that really quick and show you guys. Let's go right here. And let's say open in an incognito window. I think I'm logged out. Yep. Okay, so this is an incognito window, which allows me to actually test as a true visitor. So whenever you open up an incognito window, as long as you weren't logged into your Zenfolio account in an incognito window, you can test it as a true visitor. And so now you guys can see right here, it's saying please register to see the workshops I offer. And I would put my name, and then I would put zenvisitor@gmail.com. Hit continue, and then after I put that information in, then I could go see those workshops that are offered there. Now, the benefit of that is that once that happens, that information is actually added into your Zenfolio account. Not only is it added into your Zenfolio account, but you can sort it by the gallery that that visitor sign-in information was received in. So if I go up to communications right here, and let's say it's towards the end of the year, and maybe I'm thinking about running a special workshop only to those people who have visited my workshops before, and I want to see the people who are interested. What you can do is you can go to communication, contact list, and you can use this sort button right here and say, okay, show me the people who visited this gallery right here through my visitor sign-in. And then you would only see those email addresses, and you could select them all and send them a quick marketing email and say, hey, you know, I'm running a secret workshop and I would like to invite you, and here's the details and stuff like that. So that's what visitor sign-in is useful for. For the guestbook functions just like it sounds. It's basically a guestbook where people can go and leave comments on pages and photos and things like that. You can enable it by going to photos. And first you need to go right here to the gallery and say, okay, let's go and let's, where's it at? Right here. Comments, allow the guestbook, and allow comments, and then they would actually show up on the page where the photo's at if you choose to allow that to be there. You don't get any email information sent to you. There's not really a way to sort the guestbook and email people back, so it's just really a way to allow people to comment on things. I'm not a huge fan of the guestbook, but I'm definitely a big fan of the marketing capabilities that you get when you use visitor sign-in like I was just showing you guys. All right, let me hit save really quick. Let me get back out of here and go back to my dashboard really quick. Fuzzy Business says, welcome back. Hey, it's good to be back. You know, the beach was awesome. It was nice, but it's definitely good to be back hanging out with you guys. So if you have any questions, definitely please feel free to get those in the chat. Hopefully maybe one day I can travel back out to the Outer Banks and maybe do a live stream from the balcony with the ocean in the background and things like that. That would be really nice. So looking forward to doing that maybe someday in the future, hopefully. All right, let me jump back to another email question really quick. So I got a question from Shane in Arkansas. Hey, Shane in Arkansas. I'm actually from Oklahoma, and my dad actually still lives in Fort Smith, Arkansas. So I'm a huge Arkansas fan for sure. Awesome to have Shane here from Arkansas. He says, is there a way to set a minimum print order from within the online shop? Well, actually, you can do this as long as you have an advanced account. So if you have an advanced account or a premium business account, you can actually set a minimum order. So if you go up to, first, if you need to know what kind of account you have, go up here to settings and just click on account. And it will tell you what your account level is here. My account level says special because this is a demo account, but it'll say something like premium business or advanced. If you have either one of those, you'll be able to set an order minimum. If you have the pro plan, or if you have the pro plan or you have the premium plan, you're not going to be able to set an order minimum. If that's something you're definitely interested in being able to do, you should definitely consider upgrading to the advanced account as well. All right, but in order to set that order minimum, what you do is you do this on a price list. So if I go to selling really quick, and then we just click on a price list right here, and let's do it on, let's just do it on this price list right here. So I'm going to click on this price list here really quick. Once this, so my internet, like guys, sorry, my internet is like way under caffeinated today or something. I'm not sure what's going on with my internet, but it's definitely being a lot slower than I'm used to. And several times today, I've gotten really impatient and hit the refresh button just as it was getting ready to load. And so I'm trying really hard to work on my patience with my internet. I get used to things being instant, and then for some reason it doesn't, and I lose my patience, and then it just takes even longer. Like right now, I'm really wanting to hit the refresh button. Let me just see if I can do that. All right. Well, now's a good time for a coffee break. All right, there we go. So now we've got this price list loaded. In order to set up that order minimum, what you want to do is go to price list settings right here. And then scroll down to the very bottom. Once this loads, scroll down to the very bottom. And you're just going to set the order minimum. This is a good way too. So if you go down to the very bottom down here, I'll get there and I'll show you. So right here it says order minimum. And in a second this is going to load for me right here and we'll be able to do that. So let me go back down. Order minimum right here. And we can say set an order minimum of $20. If you're a photographer and you offer packages and you want to set up a way that people can't purchase a la carte items until they purchase a package, while there's not really a true built-in way to do that, what you can do is you can set the order minimum of a price list to be the price of your cheapest package, and then your clients wouldn't be able to order any cheaper a la carte items until they ordered either that minimum package or at least that amount in a la carte items. So they just couldn't purchase a single 8x10. They'd have to purchase up to whatever you set the minimum to be. And that's another good way to use this order minimum right here, is for that kind of, if you're wanting to kind of prevent people from purchasing cheaper a la carte items without purchasing a package. All right, let me hit save. And now anybody that goes through this price list on any gallery that it's on, they won't be able to actually make a purchase unless their order total is $20 or more. It won't allow them to make a purchase. I think the messaging that the client gets says that the order minimum has not been reached yet, and I think it tells them how much they need to spend. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know they do see some kind of message that says they can't check out because they haven't reached the order minimum. All right, let me get back to my dashboard here really quick. Cheryl says, do a show on capturing oceanscapes. That would be a lot of fun. I would really, really like to do some photography stuff on here as well. Hopefully, eventually, that's something that we can approach and do. Not that I'm this fantastic photographer, but that would be a lot of fun to do, is to do some photography stuff as well as some Zenfolio stuff as well. Okay, let me jump on to my next email question. You guys out in chat are quiet today. So I'm just going to grab another email question really quick. And for those of you guys who are watching the recorded version of this, most of the questions that I'm taking right now are coming from you guys. There's a link in the description of the video below. It's probably down at the very bottom, and it says questions for next week. So for those of you guys who are not able to watch the live stream, but you watch the recorded version, you can keep using that link to send me these questions, and I'll answer them the very following week, just like I'm doing now. All right, so my next question here is, Eric says, many people, both Zenfolio subscribers and our customers, are complaining about the look and usability of the new shopping experience. When will we again be able to customize the quick shop section and entire new shopping experience page to simplify and to make it fit in better with our website? So the new shopping experience itself is very customizable. You guys saw just now, like earlier when I was changing some of the options on the quick shop page, you can set it up to use just the quick shop page. You can set it up to use just the shop homepage only. There's a lot of customizable options in there, and then you can turn off a bunch of options in the quick shop page there. With that being said, we are always interested in your guys' feedback, and so definitely please pass any feedback you have along to us. There's actually a user voice forum that we have set up just for that specific reason. So if I could get Cheryl to throw out a link in the chat, any of you guys that have any feedback, any comments about the new shopping experience and things like that, definitely put them on that user voice forum. And you can definitely shoot them to us at support as well. You can just send an email to, or you can just go to zenfolio.com/contact and send us feedback about the new shopping experience that way. We will be sure to pass that up to the development team. All right, so let me see. Let me go take another email question here. So my next question here says, is there a way to make a default price list by client type? I have several different types of clients, and it's a pain making sure that I have applied the appropriate price list to the gallery each time I upload. So you can absolutely do this. What you want to do is, it's all about the way you organize your account. So if I go to my photos page really quick here, I'm just going to click on photos up here in the top nav, go to the photos page, and I'll show you how to organize it so that no matter what kind of gallery you upload, as long as you upload it in the right section, it's going to get the price list that you built for that client type applied to it. So the first thing I would definitely recommend doing is having a clients group right here like I've got here, keeping those client galleries separated out from other galleries. So what I'm going to do really quick, I'm just going to click in this group, click right on it, and I'm just going to click create some subgroups. So let's say you shoot, I'm going to do a new group. Let's say you shoot family portraits and you have a special price list for all of your family portrait galleries. Let's say you shoot, schools and sports, or maybe let's just do sports. Let's say you shoot sports and you have a special price list that you apply to your sports galleries. We're going to create that subgroup there. And then let's say that you just shoot, we'll do engagements. Okay, so what I've got is inside of here, I've got this client group, and inside of that client group, I created some subcategory groups: engagements, family portraits, and sports. Now, what I'm going to do is, let me delete this test collection really quick so it doesn't cause any confusion. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to move my existing galleries that are here into the appropriate group. So what I'm going to do is just click on Carter, and we're just going to pretend that both of these are engagement galleries. So I'm going to click move. This is going to load right here, and I'm going to be able to put that into that group, that subgroup in there. So engagements right here. All right, so now if I click on the engagement groups, those two groups are there. If I click on my clients group, all it shows are these subgroups. So we want it nice and organized. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go and build the price list for these specific subgroup client categories that we just created. So what I'm going to do is go up to selling, go to price list, and I'm not really going to take the time. Well, maybe I'll do it the first time running through a price list, but let's just do this. So I'm going to go with add a new price list, and we're going to call this one engagement. Now, the name of the price list, as you guys know, is not that important. It's not going to show up to your clients, but what it is important for is for your internal organization, so that when you look in your price list and you see the engagements price list, you know exactly why you created it for, which was for those engagement client galleries. So I'm not going to take the time to go through and set this price list up completely. All I'm going to do is go down here to the bottom and click Save and Assign. And what we're going to do is we are going to assign it to that engagement gallery right there. I'm sorry, engagement group right there. So we're going to assign that there, and I'm going to click Save. Now, if you'll notice, it assigned it to all of the galleries inside of it as well. So the next thing we're going to do is just add a new price list again. We'll say sports. And again, I'm not really going to take the time to go through and completely customize this price list. I'm just using this as a way to show you guys how to add these price lists onto those subgroups. So anytime you upload a new gallery, as long as you upload it into the right group, the correct price list is going to automatically apply to it. So I'm going to go down here, Save and Assign, and we are going to choose the sports group this time, obviously. So expand the clients group, and then click on the sports group right there and hit Save. All right, next we're going to create one more price list for those family portraits right there. So let me go add new price list, name it family portraits, and then we're going to save and assign that one to family portraits, and then I'll show you how it works. Okay, so go down here, save and assign, and then we're going to save and assign it. Make sure you're clicking that expand thing so that you can get down here to get the family portraits group, because the key is to make sure that you're assigning it to the subgroup, not the main clients group, and not any galleries that are inside of the subgroup, but directly to that subgroup. So after we've got that selected, we're going to hit Save. Now we're going to go back to the dashboard here, And now, if I'm uploading a family portraits gallery, as long as I upload it inside of this group right here, then it's going to automatically take on that family portraits price list right here. So if I go click on this and I hit new, and I say new gallery, and I say the Joneses, I hit enter, that gallery is going to be created inside of the family portraits group. And as you can see, when I click on it, over on the right, it's going to automatically have that family portraits price list assigned to it. So I'm clicking on the gallery here, right above my head. Over on the right, family portraits is automatically assigned to it. If you're using the Create New Gallery wizard from the dashboard, it'll work the exact same way. So if I go Create New Gallery right here, and let's say this is a sports gallery, I'm just going to call this, as soon as this loads here, I'll call it the, we'll do the Steelers. And while it's loading, guys, also keep in mind, too, that whenever you upload photos to Zenfolio, we actually never, ever show the full resolution file. So right after you upload a gallery, you might notice some of the images having a little spinny wheel. What that means is that we're actually generating the preview images that are used on your website. All right, so now the important thing is this is the sports gallery. So I need to make sure that I'm uploading it and creating it in the sports group so that it gets that correct price list assigned to it. So clicking on sports, hit next, and then we're going to have, you can change this if you want. I'm just going to leave this same. Click next, no watermark, continue to upload, and then I'm not actually going to upload any images into it because it's going to make the gallery anyway. But then let's click on photos just so I can show you where it actually has applied that price list. So now if we go to sports, there's Steelers. And again, this is the gallery that we just made through the Create New Gallery wizard. And as you can see, it automatically applied that sports price list to it. So if you've got several different types of clients that you work with and you have different price lists for those different clients, you can create subgroups in your clients group right here. Apply a price list to those subgroups, and then all you have to do is make sure that you're uploading the galleries to the correct group, and it will automatically apply the correct price list, and it'll save you a lot of time from having to do it manually. All right, let me get back to my dashboard here really quick. Let me grab another question here. All right, the next question I have says, is it possible to use Squarespace on the front end as my website landing page and use Zenfolio for back-end operations like client proofing and gallery storage? Yes, you can absolutely do that. You can use your Squarespace homepage as your Zenfolio homepage as well. In order to do that, what you want to do is you want to just go to settings right here, go to website, and then there's an option over on the left called homepage. And right now I'm using the Zenfolio default homepage, but let's say maybe I want to use, let's use Facebook for my homepage just to show you. So I'm going to put Facebook right there, hit save. And now, if I hover over my Zenfolio and I click view my website, it's not going to take me to my Zenfolio homepage any longer. It's going to take me to Facebook. So the important thing to remember there is to make sure that you have the links that you need on the landing page that you're linking to for clients to get to your galleries. A lot of people will link to their client access page or their clients folder, depending on the way that you run your business and how you get your clients to your galleries. There's several different ways you can do this, but yeah, you can definitely use your Squarespace homepage as your Zenfolio homepage as well. You just need to set it up right here. And then also, if anybody's in a gallery and they click homepage, it would then take them to that Squarespace or external homepage as well. All right, guys, we've probably got about 10 more minutes. So if you guys have any questions out there, now's the time to really get them in that chat so I can make sure that I get those answered for you guys. live here on the live stream today. Doesn't matter if it's about things that we've already talked about. Maybe I covered something and I went just a little bit too fast. I've been guilty of doing that. If you guys would like me to go back and show you how to do something again, definitely let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to keep jumping onto these email questions. But if you guys have any questions in the chat, definitely now's the time to get those in there so I can get those answered. All right, let me grab another question over here really quick. This question says, is it possible to make it so that the header does not scroll with the images on the homepage? So I don't think that my account's set up that way, but sometimes if you're showing your header, depending on how many images you have on the homepage, let me show you. Let me just get here. We'll just go to customize website and I'll just set it up really quick. I'm going to go to customize website, and then what I'm going to do is go to options. We're going to show that page header there. I have no idea what's on the page header. We'll hide my homepage logo and stuff like that. And then we're just going to click apply. That's going to apply that. And then in order to really see this, we can see it like this. So I think what you're looking for is a floating header. So if I were to scroll down like I am right now, instead of that header scrolling up with the page, it would actually just float and the page would kind of scroll behind it. Unfortunately, at the moment, there's not a way to do that with Zenfolio. Definitely something you could throw out in that user voice form and request that feature there. For that, because that would be really cool. Unfortunately, at the moment, there's not a way to do that right now. All right, let me get back to my dashboard. And let me take another email question here. All right, this question says, if I'm shooting a football game, do I have to use an event or can I just use a normal gallery? So you don't have to use an event, and for those of you guys who are not quite sure what a Zenfolio event is, it's actually a special feature that you get with an advanced account that's really useful for things like schools, sports, and stuff like that. But it's kind of like a gallery, but kind of not. I'll show you what it is really quick. So an event is, let me see if I've got anything that I can use. I'll just use this as an example. An event is basically a group that's searchable or that has been linked by a participants list. A lot of times people will use them for schools. Looking for schools. Sorry, I got totally distracted. A lot of times people will use them for schools. What they'll do is they'll keyword the student photos with their student ID, and then they actually upload a CSV file that links them, and then they can send out batch emails to the parents that give them a direct link to their child's photos. And that's basically, you have to convert a group to an event right here by clicking convert to event. Now, if you're shooting a sports game, you could definitely use an open event and you could keyword the photos with the players' numbers. And what that would allow people to do is it would allow people to go to the event page and enter their player's number and find their photos. But you do not have to use an event for a football game or anything else. You can use whatever format that you like. So if it's easier for you just to upload all of the photos from that football game into a single gallery and then just do an invite this way, you could definitely do that. You do not have to use a Zenfolio event at all. You can definitely just use the a normal gallery invite. All right, Roxanne says, hey, just logging in to catch the end of the tutorial. Hope your time off was a good break for you. Roxanne, it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. It was just amazing to be able to wake up every morning and watch the sun come up over the beach. And then if you guys are ever out at the Outer Banks, there's two things that I definitely recommend that you do when you're there. Definitely hike to the top of Jockey's Ridge and catch the sunset at the end of the day. And before you make that hike, buy a kite and go fly it at Jockey's Ridge before you hike up to catch the sunset. Those were my two favorite things of the entire trip. I took my 5-year-old to Jockey's Ridge and we flew a kite, and then me and the rest of the family hiked up there and caught the sunset, and it was probably the most amazing sunset I'd ever seen. So it's definitely worth the hike. If you ever find your way out there at the Outer Banks, definitely check Jockey's Ridge out for sure. Glad to have you here hanging out with us, Roxanne. I'm glad you were able to at least catch the tail end of it and say hi. Always good to have you guys hanging out with me. I think I've got time for one more question, and then it's going to be it for today. So let me grab one more email question really quick. Let me see. It says, I have used coupons in the past for my customers, and I currently have a discount I'd like to offer. But rather than basing it on a minimum order amount, I would like to be able to offer the discount on specific products. Is this possible? So when you're creating coupons, guys, you do have some options where you can do some limiting. So if I go to selling right here and I go to coupons and campaigns, and if we go right here to add new coupon, and you guys, most of you guys should know the coupon right here. If I go down here to the bottom is where you can actually limit it to specific product categories. Now, unfortunately, there's not a way to limit it to specific products, but if you don't sell packages and the price list that you're using and you want to kind of limit this coupon to a specific product, if it doesn't have any packages on it, what you can do is you could put that specific product that you want to offer at a discount inside of a package and then set this coupon to be limited only to be used on packages. And that way they couldn't use it for the product unless you put it in a package, and that would be a way there for you to limit it to certain products. But again, the trick is going to be if you're not offering packages already. If you're offering packages, then this coupon would be able to be used on all of the packages in that price list. It would only be if you're creating a special price list that only has one package with the product that you want to discount. That was a lot to say, and hopefully that didn't come across too confusing. All right, let me get back to my dashboard here really quick. Yeah, Roxanne, actually I did take some photos. Unfortunately, I didn't get time to get them already, but I will share one with you guys really quick. I'm about out of time anyway, so I'm just going to throw my photo up again for you guys to see. This was the view from my balcony there that I got to wake up to every morning. I have a lot more of these photos to go through, but definitely miss it, but glad to be back. But unfortunately, guys, with that, we are out of time. I do want to say thank you to everybody who come and hung out with us. It's good to be back. Thanks again to Kayla, who did such an awesome job last week covering for me, and I hope you guys have a wonderful and fantastic weekend. Don't forget to join us next week, same time, same place, and until then, I hope you guys all are safe and have a great weekend.